Aria Duval was the epitome of elegance and success in a city where prestige and tradition ruled every move. At 28, she was a rising star in a prestigious law firm, celebrated by colleagues and adored by her influential family. She was also expected to marry Richard Vale, a man she'd known since childhood, a man with a family lineage as impeccable as her own. Richard was everything a woman in her family was supposed to want: stable, accomplished, and admired. The engagement was perfect on paper, a carefully curated future of comfort, security, and respectability. But for Aria, it felt like a gilded cage. Each day, a growing restlessness gnawed at her heart, a secret longing she couldn't share with anyone. She craved passion, adventure, and a love that set her soul on fire, something Richard, for all his virtues, could never give her. One evening, after an extravagant dinner celebrating her engagement, Aria felt suffocated. The weight of expectations pressed on her chest, and she slipped away from her family's high-rise apartment, wandering into the city without a destination. She found herself drawn to a small, dimly lit jazz club on the outskirts of town. Inside, the music was intoxicating, and her senses came alive. There, under the spotlight on stage, was a musician whose presence was as magnetic as the deep, soulful notes he played. His name was Luca Hayes, a tall, dark-haired man with a rugged edge and an aura that practically dared her to take notice. Their eyes met, and Aria felt an unfamiliar spark leap through her veins. She hadn't felt anything like this with Richard. Luca was the opposite of everything her family wanted for her, and perhaps that was part of their lure. As fate would have it, Aria and Luca's paths kept crossing, each encounter more charged with electricity than the last. What started as casual conversations became stolen moments, with Luca slowly unraveling the layers of Aria's life. She confessed her doubts about her engagement, her fears of losing herself, and her struggles with the rigid expectations of her family. Luca, too, revealed pieces of his past, a tumultuous journey from a troubled neighborhood and a scandal that had nearly ruined him. He had fought to survive and built his own life, even as whispers of his past lingered in the shadows. Aria was captivated by his honesty, his intensity, and the way he treated her like an equal, not a trophy. She knew it was wrong, that her family would never accept him, but she couldn't deny the pull he had on her. Soon, Aria found herself leading a double life. By day, she played the role of the dutiful fiancée, going through the motions with Richard and attending family events. But by night, she would sneak away to see Luca. With him, she felt liberated, like she could finally breathe without the weight of her family's dreams pressing down on her. Her best friend warned her she was playing with fire, but Aria brushed off the caution. It was reckless, yes, but she had never felt more alive. Luca's world was vibrant and untamed, a stark contrast to the sanitized life she'd always known. In his arms, she felt free to be her true self, away from the polished facade she wore for everyone else. The turning point came one night after a heated argument with Richard. He could sense her growing distance and confronted her, his disappointment palpable. Aria couldn't explain her feelings without revealing her secret, so she fled, her heart pounding with guilt and adrenaline. She found herself at Luca's doorstep, desperate for comfort. In a moment of raw vulnerability, they shared a passionate kiss that shattered the last of her defenses. She knew then that she was in too deep, that she had crossed a line she could never uncross. Her heart ached with guilt, but the exhilaration of being with Luca outweighed everything. The wrong man had become the right love, and there was no turning back. But secrets have a way of coming to light. Aria's late nights and distant gaze didn't go unnoticed by her family. Her mother, suspicious, dug into her activities and soon uncovered the truth about Luca. Furious, Aria's parents issued an ultimatum: end the affair with Luca or risk losing everything they had worked to give her, her inheritance, her social standing, and the family's reputation. Richard, too, was devastated when he learned of her betrayal. He demanded she make a choice, him or Luca. Aria was torn between two worlds, faced with the painful reality of what she stood to lose. She had always been the perfect daughter, the one who followed the rules. But she knew she couldn't go back to that life, not after experiencing the intensity of her love for Luca. In a moment of courage, Aria chose Luca, knowing it meant losing her family's approval and walking away from the life she had always known. She tried to reassure herself that love was worth the sacrifice, even if the path ahead was uncertain. But just as she and Luca planned to start a new chapter together, his past came crashing back. Old enemies reemerged, threatening to tear them apart. Aria's family, intent on protecting their own, used every means to sabotage her relationship with Luca, manipulating situations to turn the city against him. The pressure mounted, and Luca, riddled with guilt, began to pull away, fearing he would only ruin Aria's life. Refusing to let go, Aria fought for Luca and for herself. She confronted her family, asserting her right to live on her terms and to make her own mistakes if need be. Her family's rejection cut deep, but Aria felt stronger than she ever had before. She and Luca, scarred and bruised from the fight, moved forward together, determined to build a life away from the judgment and expectations of others. They faced hardships, but their love, forged in the fire of adversity, became unbreakable. In the end, Aria and Luca chose each other, flaws and all. Their love wasn't easy, but it was real, a union of two souls who had found strength in each other's embrace. Together, they created a life on their own terms, one where love, resilience, and authenticity held more value than society's approval. Aria had finally broken free, and in doing so, she found the love she never knew she needed with the man her heart had chosen all along. Thank you for joining me on this journey of love and self-discovery. If you enjoyed the story, please like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below to share your thoughts. Your support means the world.